What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Path of the Network Marketer. It is day 31, right? Happy October. Happy October. That went quick. It's a long time, but it goes fast. I don't know. It's such a weird kind of dichotomy. 30 days is a stretch, especially if you're doing a video every day. But once you get there, it's like, man, I can't believe it's done. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's day 31, and what I want to do today is I want to kind of celebrate and do a retrospective and talk about some of the highlights, some of the key moments from the first 30 days, so that we can take these ideas moving forward and continue building on top of them as we continue this journey of learning how to leverage social media, internet, and online marketing for, of course, our network marketing businesses. So I'm just going to kind of talk about, again, some highlights and go in this descending order. It's a list. It's a list episode. I know how much people love list episodes. So starting at, well, also too, then if, especially if you're brand new to the show, if this is your first time listening, you can go back and reference these episodes, and then you can get caught up, right? You can get caught up. So we'll start off with episode number 6. This is an early one. And when it comes to online marketing and especially social media, one of the key things that we talked about in episode 6 was being intentional and purposeful with your social media, right? It's the mindset shift of moving from being a content consumer to a content creator. So you got to be really intentional and purposeful. And there's definitely a difference between those two. So go back and listen to episode 6. That's a really good one. The next one I have on the list is episode number 18. Okay, so as you embark on a new journey, and if you take on a new strategy, or you're learning and you're teaching yourself something new for your network marketing business, the message in number 18, in episode 18, was don't just learn, do. Not do, but do. Get into action, execute as quickly as possible. Because I think one of the things that we can tend to hide behind is the learning process, and that being the milestone, that being the achievement. In network marketing, with any kind of really, I think, entrepreneurial venture, you gotta execute, you gotta do it, and a lot of the learning actually happens in the doing, right? And so if you spend all this time learning and then you don't do anything with what you learn, then it's pointless, especially for your network marketing business. So spend more time doing and perfecting your craft as you do. That's why for me, I really will learn as much as I can in as quick as time as possible, and then learn everything else on the job, so to speak, right? Learn everything else in the application, because there are so many kind of unpredictable things that happen, so many variables that you can encounter that you'll never learn from a course or a book or a video, right? So you gotta really learn for yourself a majority of the time. So don't just learn, do. That was the theme for number 18. And I think also too, okay, so this might end up being a longer episode, but I think we're just naturally, because especially of our education system, we're naturally feel a sense of accomplishment with just the learning, right? Because we get rewarded. I mean, even like, okay, so I'm a little old school, but a graduation for kindergarten, when did that start happening? A graduation for third grade, when did that start happening, right? There's a graduation for like every 3 years of school. So yes, it is an accomplishment maybe in that regard, but you're gonna go through those things anyways, and especially if it's a self-driven journey, if you're doing something entrepreneurial, and if you're doing like network marketing, there's no accomplishment without accomplishment, right? There's no accomplishment without doing. So learning is just the very, very like tip of the iceberg in terms of your journey, being an entrepreneur and being a network marketer. So don't just learn, do. Sorry, I took longer than I had wanted to on that one. It's an important one. Okay, anyways, moving right along. We're jumped to episode 16, content wins over production value, right? I think, again, that's another one of those things that people get hung up on. They get hung up on learning, and then the next thing you can potentially get hung up on when you're moving into social media and content creation is production value. Yeah, production value is important. I'm not saying it's not important, but focus on content, and production value is for me a distant second. You have enough gear probably already to put out good enough quality production value, and if you focus on on the content of your post, then that's going to win regardless, right? That's going to win and will make up for any minor shortcomings that you have in your production value. So that is episode 16. Go check out that. Episode 27 is the next one. Be willing to stand out and do what few people even try. Like, I mean, that's the whole thing, right? I mean, even with just network marketing, so it's so different than what most of the people that we know are doing. So sticking it out and being willing to be kind of the oddball or the odd person out is really, really important in the entrepreneurial venture, because that's where risk taking lies, and that's where potentially massive success lies also. Without risk, without stepping away from the herd. I mean, if you're content with doing the 9 to 5 thing and living your life out that way, that's okay too. Like network marketing or entrepreneurism isn't the only way. However, I think, if you want to be able to experience the things, the infinite things that's available to us in life, I think you can experience more of those things if you're willing to do what few even are willing to try. So that's episode number 27. Next one is episode number 28. This was recent. Follow through. Sorry, I referenced my notes here. You'll never have consistency if you don't hold yourself accountable. And that's all follow through is, right? It's being accountable to yourself. I know people, often do accountability groups or accountability partners, which is great. If you need that, that's awesome. But in the long run, you got to be accountable. You got to keep yourself accountable, because if you don't, then you're never going to develop the consistency, and as a result, well, you'll never develop momentum. And if you don't develop momentum, then you'll never develop critical mass in your business, in your strategy, whatever you're employing, in your entrepreneurial venture. All right, so the last one is consistency. So you have content wins over production value. Being accountable to yourself is incredibly important. And that's what helps develop consistency. And really, consistency beats everything, right? Consistency wins over everything. It wins over production value. It wins over algorithm changes, right? Like algorithm changes happen pretty much like every week. It even wins over inexperience, because again, in the doing, we learn even more. And so if you're consistently doing, you're going to learn faster, and you're going to get over your hurdles. You're going to get over your humps, right? So consistency, guys, that wins every time. So those are some highlights from the first 30 days. Go check out those episodes. And of course, you can catch us back here tomorrow with a fresh new one. So until then, be well, be safe. We'll see you in the next episode.